What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Alpha Girl Confidence Podcast. This is episode 234, and I'm your host, Shay Haddo. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how you can have a confident start to the new school year. So I know that this is a time where maybe like this week, I know this is probably the biggest week where you're going back to school, and maybe you have it in a week or two, or maybe you've already started. Regardless, this episode is going to help you to start the school year off with confidence. And I completely recognize that, and the reason why I wanted to do this episode is because I know that starting a new school year, whether you're going from middle school to high school or elementary to middle school, or if you're just staying in the same school, but obviously a new grade, that it can be stressful. It can be, obviously it's exciting, but it can also be really nerve-wracking to, start a new school year. You've got new friends, you've got new classes, you got new lockers and new places. And there's all of these new, unknown, uncertain things about a school year, which is why I wanted to have this episode for you so that you can start it off with confidence and, ease those nerves a little bit. So we're going to go through 4 things that you can do. Some of them are very tangible things that you can do, and some of them are more so of like mindsets and perspectives to have and to remember as you're getting ready to start the new school year. So number 1, and this is number 1 because it's probably the most important thing and also the thing that girls struggle with the most. So number 1, as cheesy as it sounds, is to be yourself. Be yourself. The reason why most girls are nervous about a new school year, and girls specifically, is because we're worried about making friends. We're worried about what other people will think of us. We're worried about, am I wearing the right thing? Am I saying the right thing? Am I walking the right way? Am I talking the right way, right? We're always so concerned, especially with a new kind of social environment, we're concerned about what other people are thinking of us. So the most important thing to remember is to be yourself. You cannot be anyone but yourself. And if you try to be anyone but yourself, it's not very fun, and it's not going to resonate with the people in your life that really matter, right? So the most important thing to remember with be yourself is that you cannot, no matter how hard you try, you cannot control other people's opinions. You cannot control what other people think of you. The only thing you can control, and the most important thing, is how you think of yourself. So if you can just be yourself and be confident and accepting and loving of yourself, then that will be also mirrored into how other people see you and perceive you. So don't try to be anybody else. Don't try to dress like other people want you to dress. Dress how you want to dress. Be how you want to be. Act how you want to act. Sit with who you want to sit with, but be yourself. And when you are yourself, the right people will also come into your life and stay in your life, right? Think about it this way. If you go and you try to be somebody you're not, you're going to attract people that like the you for the fake you. That's not the real you, and there's only so long that you can sustain that. But if you're yourself, you'll naturally attract people that love you for you, and you'll naturally repel people that don't resonate with you, and that's okay. That's something that we need to remember, is that you don't have to be friends with everybody. Not everybody has to like you all the time. And I think as girls, as women, and I know I have this too, that we think that, everyone needs to like us, and that's just not reality. That's not going to happen. So if that's the case, then just go out, be yourself, wear what you want to wear. I know that's such a big thing with school, is like clothes and how you look and all that stuff. So just remember to be yourself. The right people will come into your life, and the people that aren't right for you will naturally not come into your life, which is a blessing. Okay. So that's number 1. All right. Number 2 is to get outside of your comfort zone. So obviously with the new school year, you want to make new friends, right? Maybe it's a whole new school where you don't know anyone, or maybe it's just right, like the new grade equals new kids coming in and, new people and stuff like that, right? So in order to be confident about the new school year, it might seem counterintuitive to get outside of your comfort zone. But if you stay inside of your comfort zone, you stay talking to the same people, you don't get out there and talk to new people or sit with new people, you're not going to be very confident in your ability to make new friends. And you're not going to be very, how I like to think of your comfort zone is that even if you quote unquote fail, which I wouldn't say that, but if the outcome doesn't go the way you want it to go when you do get outside of your comfort zone, that's okay, because you can at least be proud of yourself for trying, for getting outside of your comfort zone. So number one, getting outside of your comfort zone will build this belief and this trust within yourself that you can do hard things. But then also, the only way to make new friends is to get outside of your comfort zone, right? So like super simple, we don't need to go complex there, but super simple. One way that you can get outside of your comfort zone is to talk to a new person in one of your new classes, right? Maybe it's sitting with someone new at lunch. And when I say talk to someone new, it doesn't mean you gotta automatically be best friends with them, right? It could just be complimenting them on what they're wearing or their backpack or, something they said in class. And a question that I got recently that I want to talk about, with number two is like, okay, how do I talk to people? How do I start to gain these friendships? And one simple thing is to compliment them, right? It doesn't have to be on their looks necessarily, but it could be around something they said or something they did or whatever, right? So compliment them on something. That's one really, really easy way. A second thing is to find common ground. So if you have something in common that you notice that person, maybe you like the same color, maybe you have the same backpack, maybe you have the same pencil, maybe you both play sports, whatever it is, like finding common ground can be a really easy and simple way to start a conversation with someone, right? And so the other thing with getting outside of your comfort zone is realize that everyone else is just as nervous as you. I know we think like, oh, I'm the only one that's this nervous about the first day of school, but everyone else around you is also nervous. Everyone else around you is also scared to start a new conversation, or is nervous about making new friends, or is nervous about like getting around the school and finding their locker and opening their locker and all that kind of stuff. So you are not alone. But when you get outside of your comfort zone, you can be proud of yourself. The number one, you did the scary thing. And number two, you'll actually see results, make new friends, and get better at communicating with people when you do get outside of your comfort zone. All right. So that's number two. Number three is to focus on what really matters. Okay. So I know with a new school year, the social side of it is so huge, so huge. But with that, you have to remember, in the grand scheme of things, what really matters. Does it matter that I look the coolest, that I have the most friend, that I'm in the popular group? No, at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter. And when you're old like me, you're not even going to remember any of that stuff, right? So reorient yourself as to what really matters here. Is it getting good grades? Is it making really great relationships with a small group of people? Is it to build relationships with your teachers? What really matters? And when you can figure out and get really clear on your highest priorities, your highest values, then all the other little things that don't matter as much, AKA looking cool, then you're not going to worry about that as much. So get clear on that. And also remember that you cannot do everything and you cannot be everything to everyone. Meaning, like I kind of said earlier, you can't be friends with everyone. You can't be everyone's best friend. And if you try, you're going to spread yourself really thin. So by getting clear on what matters to you and what you value and what's important to you, then you can really hone in on getting good grades, showing up for class, being there for your best friends, building relationships with your teachers, whatever that looks like for you. Okay. So get clear, get focused, what really matters to you. And number four, and we forget this one a lot, but it's so important. Number four is to ask for help. Ask for help, whether it's finding a locker, or maybe you're lost and you can't find your class, or maybe you're just stressed out and you need someone to talk to. And whether that be a teacher, a parent, a friend, ask for help. Like I said earlier, everyone's nervous in this time. It's a new time. It's uncertain. It's unknown. And so don't be afraid to, number one, be vulnerable and express if you're needing help and if you're struggling, but then to also ask for help. And not only ask for help, but sometimes we're too scared to ask for help, but we're also too stubborn to receive the help. So if someone comes up to you and offers help for whatever reason, receive that help. Accept that help. And it's okay. It's okay to not know what the heck you're doing. It's okay to not have it all figured out. None of us have it all figured out. So be okay asking for help. And when you do, you're going to feel a lot less stressed. You're going to create better relationships. And it's a good skill to take into adulthood, because a lot of the times as we become adults, we also don't like asking for help, and then we suffer because of it. So ask for help, okay? All right, so let's do a little recap. Number 1, be yourself. This is the most important thing. One of the most important pieces of advice I could give you in your entire life is to just be yourself. All right. Number 2 is to get outside of your comfort zone, talk to new people, sit with new people, just strike up a conversation, even though it may be scary. And then you can be proud of yourself for doing that anyways. Number 3 is to get clear and focus on what really matters to you in this school year and put most of your focus and your attention there. And number 4 is don't be afraid to ask for help and accept and receive that help when it's given to you. All right, so I hope these 4 things are helpful. If there's anything that you're still nervous about, worried about, feel free to reach out to me. I'm not on social media as much anymore, but if you send me a message on Instagram, I do go on and check it. So at Shay Haddo, and then also feel free to reach out to me via email or whatever way you can find to reach out to me. If you have my number, you reach out to me there. But I'm excited to hear how your school year goes. Remember to have fun, focus on the good, focus on the positive, be yourself, and it's going to be an awesome school year for you. And if there's anything else I can do to help, let me know, and I will catch you on next week's episode.